Nico, what did you make of the game, Argentina? I mean, we've been saying in the studio, what, 9 lives? You guys keep surviving, but ultimately that's what great champions do, isn't it?
Nine or infinity. I think it's incredible that Argentina collectively is playing the way that they are and that they've gotten to a semifinal of the World Cup. I don't think Argentina has played from least to greatest this World Cup. They probably started with their best performance against Algeria and gotten progressively worse collectively. I think any Argentine team, and excuse me, any Argentine fan sees this team and says, they are so far away from their ceiling. I guess the good news is that the semifinal against England just is set at a different context, and perhaps England isn't at their best. But I was at the England game today. Although England wasn't at their best, they played better than Argentina. Argentina is really struggling, and I think Scaloni is the main man to point a finger at, because he's playing the same team, he's making the same substitutions, and this team really needs just a different layer because they're really struggling collectively and even individually. Rarely somebody is standing out, and it always goes down to the wire, either an epic comeback or an incredible goal. To a certain degree, you can use the word luck. Yeah, Argentina needed several things to go their way to be playing this poorly and to be in the semifinal of the World Cup.
Nico, I want to ask you a question about emotion a little bit more than the tactical aspect. So I think Argentina and Messi have always been a fan favorite, right? Messi for sure. And I think last World Cup, there was tons of neutrals wanting to see Messi do well. This World Cup, because of some of the controversy, I can tell you firsthand, it swayed my parents. My family is not on the Messi train anymore. I'm wondering, as an Argentinian, how do you feel about it? Are you just happy that you guys are still in it? Is it dented a little bit of the emotional, happiness of getting to the semifinals? How do you feel about some of the controversies that's kind of stuck with Argentina in this World Cup?
Listen, I don't think that Argentinians really care about the controversy. And in fact, I think everything's debatable. It's not, in my opinion, anything egregious. It's not like they violated anything like the letter of the law. No serious journalist around the world is following what the fans are saying about Argentina. Today's yellow card, it happened in the USA game. It happened today. Do we like this reinterpretation of the rule to bin simulations? Maybe, maybe not, but it happened before. It's nothing that hasn't occurred. They're not making it up right here to just benefit Argentina. The crazy part to me is that if the referee didn't give Paredes a yellow originally, then it couldn't have been reviewed, right? Because then you're not talking about a mistaken identity. Oh, the other guy, there's no yellow to switch over to another player. I think we shouldn't be calling out the controversy. We should be calling out the referees for not seeing that egregious flop then and there in the moment. VAR, you guys are talking about with Cristina, so invasive in the game, and it's making referees much worse, where they have this safety net, and it's been atrocious. But Benny, you think Argentinians care that the rest of the world is against them? I grew up in an age where everybody hated Argentina, and everybody likes Argentina now because of Messi. Everybody loved Brazil because Brazil was the incredible, happy, joga bonito spirit dancing on a football pitch, and Argentina was the most hated team in the world. Exactly, things have flipped. Right. And I actually almost can't believe that Argentina we live in a reality where Argentina is beloved, right? Going into the 2022 World Cup, everybody wanted Argentina to win for Messi. So frankly, to be honest, within Argentina, my pulse is that Argentinians couldn't care less if the world is against them.
Nico, first and foremost, congratulations, man. Really happy for you that your nation's there in a semi-final. And even if the performances are controversial or even the decisions are controversial, you're still in a semi-final and you're going up against England.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you that Scotland will be behind Argentina in that game as well. Now, Lionel Messi's never faced off against England. This will be the first time he's ever going up against the Three Lions. From his performance tonight, what do you think he needs to improve on? And what do you think the team needs to improve on to be able to help Lionel Messi be more effective, Nico?
Ian, Argentina needs to improve on so much, just collectively. I can't believe, honestly, the first shock of the night was that Scaloni went with the same team against Egypt, a team that lacks depth, that lacks verticality. 4 midfielders. De Paul is so far off of what he was in 2022. Enzo Fernandez, again, subbed off, didn't have a great night. McAllister was a little bit better than he was against Egypt, but against Egypt, he was really poor. Paredes was not as great as he was against Egypt. This is a team that's still trying to find a little bit more of an identity, a little bit more of a rhythm. I guess with Flaco Lopez and Nico Gonzalez and Thiago Almada, the team changed a little bit. It had a different complexion, but not really too much. It was endless recycling of that ball, getting stuck in that pattern of moving it around and trying to find the open space. And Messi looked tired today. And you can't just always play hero ball with Messi, right? It's his first time in 9 games that he doesn't score at the World Cup. So you're going to have other individualities bail you out. Today it was Julian Alvarez, but how long did it take Julian Alvarez to get going? I think he was a little bit better today physically, but for his confidence, this goal is really important to him. They're struggling, Argentina, to come up with answers, to even have a sense of direction in what they want to do. It's a team that scrapes by, and it's incredible that they have this championship resilience that has allowed them to scrape by into a World Cup semifinal. Now, it's not their fault that Uruguay couldn't finish second in their group, and then they would have probably faced Uruguay and not Cape Verde. It's not their fault that Colombia couldn't beat Switzerland in penalty kicks, and today the match wasn't against Colombia, because I guarantee you it would have had a very different feel had it been Colombia instead of Switzerland, and I'm not sure Argentina gets by that one. But now I think for the very first time in the entire tournament, Argentina's met with a force that is just as good or even better than them, right? At this point, if you're the worst team, you shouldn't go through. And Argentina needs to improve collectively, individually, even Dibu Martinez. There are very few players. I think the brightest point throughout all of this was perhaps Cuti Romero. But Argentina does need to improve dramatically if they don't want their World Cup run to end against England.
Yep. And Nico, real quick, just last question. If Argentina is to win the World Cup, tell me one guy that has not played a big part in this World Cup that we've been clamoring for. Who do you think can come off the bench and maybe spark this team a little bit?
But Benny, that's the crazy part, right? Because it seems like Scaloni doesn't trust a lot of the guys that he brought, especially so deep into stoppage time. At this point, it's like, okay, you gave everybody a run. Let me see a Valentin Barco. Let me see a Nico Paz. Let me see a Gio Lo Celso. Different players that can change the feel of a game, right? Valentin Barco is a very young midfielder full of tenacity, and just doesn't play with him. Nico Paz, he rarely plays. Giuliano Simeone, it's crazy that he has gotten no playing time at this World Cup. And that's what's most shocking about Scaloni, that he'd rather play with Rodrigo de Paul, who has had extremely questionable performances, when Giuliano Simeone has been killing it all year for Atletico Madrid. I don't understand it. And to be honest, I don't think a semifinal appearance for Argentina is a reflection of how good how good they've been at the World Cup. Getting to semifinals is not by any means a reflection of how they've been playing at this World Cup. But to a certain degree, being a champion, having that spirit, having that competitive edge, being able to stay in games even if you're the worst team, you got to give to a certain degree some credit. And obviously this match against England on Wednesday, it's just going to have a different taste to just a normal World Cup semifinal. Yep. It feels like we're building up towards something greater than football, something like a legacy match at the FIFA World Cup, especially because both teams haven't been that convincing.
Let's call it a war.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. Right, we're looking forward to that game on Wednesday. Nico, I'm sure you've got a busy day again tomorrow, so thanks for joining us.
Good stuff, Nico.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we head on Monday to Atlanta, so we'll be in Atlanta starting Monday, guys.
We're going to send Adam down there just to annoy you as well, by the way.
He can live in the RV with us. If he wants to make the drive from Miami to Atlanta, he's more than welcome.
I think he's going to drive.
I've heard it smells, Nico. I'm not talking of some smelly ratings from SofaScore here for some of the Argentinian players, I'm guessing, given the performances from a few of them. They've given Messi an 8.9.
8.9.
Was that an 8.9 kind of game?
I'm not exactly sure, what they saw. I don't think Messi did too much in this game. He got an assist in the first goal. That was about it. He was quiet. He had that shot in the second period of extra time that led to the shot that Julian Alvarez eventually got the goal. But this was a very quiet night for Mr.
Bit of
Lee.
Messi inflation going on there. Do you think 7.6 for Julian Alvarez was fair? I mean, I know he scored the goal, but he did absolutely nothing other than that.
He was pretty poor as well.
I think the 7 was for the goal. The 0.6 was for everything else.
Yeah.
One of the great stats that are coming out of it, though, 4 of Alvarez's 5 World Cup goals have been scored in the knockout round. So, albeit not necessarily impactful for the full game, all you need is a moment of brilliance, right? We've experienced it as players. You've experienced it as well, Adam, when you've been at big games for your team or even broadcasting. Moments of magic from players that sometimes are not even involved in the game for the majority of it. Then they can switch on. That's what Argentina have. But you have to be given the opportunity to do that. And I think obviously a lot went right for Argentina tonight with the referee's decision. And at the vital moment, for 40 minutes, Switzerland held on without conceding. Eventually, the quality came through.